guys, how you doing today? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I've got a haul for you today, and it turned out to be all drugstore, and it also turned out to be kind of a summary of what's new at the drugstore. A number of my recent higher end purchases I've actually reviewed individually, and I guess my goal with that is to let you know whether or not you should go spend your money on that. And when it comes to drugstore products, just go nuts and just buy all the little things and don't feel guilty about what you're buying, but be really surprised when you're at the checkout and the final bill is way larger than you ever expected. Let me just say this is kind of a summary from kind of the last couple of weeks. This was not all one trip, which kind of makes me laugh because there is definitely more than a few tubes of mascara, and if I was buying them all at one time, that might have highlighted itself to me. So if you want to know what products are new at the drugstore, and if you want to know my thoughts on what I got, then just keep watching. So in the intro, I mentioned that I got more than a few tubes of mascara. I got a total of 3 and a primer. The first one I purchased I actually got quite a while ago, you know, at the beginning of the few weeks ago, and I liked it so much I just put it in my favorites video, which I will link somewhere around here. I never know what side of the screen it comes on. So one of my most favorite recent purchases is by Max Factor, and I'm super excited that Max Factor is kind of back. And I mentioned in my favorites video that they used to be here and then they were gone. I think they were only like on the other side of the ocean. London, Europe, I have no idea, but they were not here anymore. And so I don't know if it's a test run or something, but they released the Masterpiece Max High Volume Definition Mascara, and actually it really does that. It works amazingly well alone to give you really defined lashes. It is a bit of a wet formula, but I think that works really well, especially when you like to incorporate a lot of layers into your mascara. It is a plastic bristle wand, and they are spaced nicely apart so that it does not seem to result in any clumping. I got another one by CoverGirl. Now I don't generally pay attention to CoverGirl mascaras. They're just, I don't know, I'm just not drawn to them, and I hadn't actually ever really found one that made me go ooh, ah. I loved the Katy Perry collaboration with CoverGirl where she released some lipsticks, and I enjoyed those. And so in the white tubing, it caught my eye that Katy Perry also came out with a mascara, the Katy Cat Eye. That's really creative and fun. This wand is kind of crazy town. It is a spirally sort of just madhouse crazy wand. I find the CoverGirl formula to be adequate. I'm not overly impressed with it. I am going to keep using it though because I want to see how to play and experiment with a wand that looks like it's spiraling out of control. The last mascara that I got, I had actually been seeing signs for it. It kept saying coming in September 2016, and I guess they kind of jumped the boat. They were a little bit excited because it's still August when I'm filming this. It's by L'Oreal, which actually is my most favorite mascara line in the drugstore and has been for quite some time. This is what they call the Voluminous Feline, and it's in the similar tubing and packaging that the Butterfly line came out in, and those were like purple and red, and I think there was another color. They're just like turning into like a Crayola box of mascaras right there. So this one is actually green, and I like it. And the shade that I got, or the color that I got, was Blackest Black. So I go to another store in the meantime, and I find the same tube in black, and I was very intrigued by that. And they called it the Feline Noir. Now, I'm sorry, that annoys me because I was under the impression that if I got the Blackest Black in the green tube, that how could there be something blacker, noir, in the full-on black and gold tube? So that just completely messed with my mind, and I didn't appreciate that. So this wand is kind of fun because it kind of looks like a honeycomb, and I am so far very much in love with this mascara. I did not include it in my favorites because I only got it a couple days ago, and I didn't think that was fair according to the rules, even though when it comes to favorites videos there really are no rules, or I don't want there to be any rules, but I didn't think it was legit to include it in my favorites. But I am that much in love with this mascara that I kind of feel like it's going to show up in next month's favorites, but stay tuned because I can't commit to that. The last thing that I picked up was also from L'Oreal, and it's their Voluminous Primer, which is in this fancy little white tube. I got like 2 tubes of white looking mascara kind of stuff. Honestly, the only reason I got it was because I had a $1 off coupon, and that compelled me enough to make the purchase. I know that L'Oreal has released primers in the form of a double-ended mascara where the mascara will be on one end and there'll be a primer on the other end, and I wasn't all that in love with the primers when they came in the packaging like that. I also kind of feel like It says it was new on the packaging, but I feel like maybe in the past that they have released a primer in the tube before. Don't quote me on that, but I just have this feeling. And so mascara primers in general just don't, I don't know. I'm just not sure about them, but they said this was new. I'm eager to try it. I actually have not yet. This is the one that goes on white and then can easily be covered with mascara. It says it conditions your lashes. I think that's BS. I don't really believe that happens, but it says that it does kind of pre-volumize your lashes so that when you apply the mascara, it's got something else to adhere to besides just your own original mascara. I don't know why we can't do 2 coats of mascara and get the same effect, but I'm going to give this primer a try because I really love L'Oreal mascara, and I'm hoping that they did something when they turned that mascara white. Let me just talk real quick about what else I bought in a tube, even though it's not mascara, although it kind of looks like mascara. It's by Maybelline. It's the Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. So this is meant to mimic and be very similar to the Benefit Gimme Lash, which is meant to have little individual fibers in there, which will, in theory, attach to the hairs of your brows already and then kind of voluminize them up and kind of give them a little bit of depth and dimension. This does not work for people who have barely their brows because it doesn't matter that it will attach to the hairs that you have. If you don't have that many hairs, you're still not going to look like you have a lot of brows. So I decided to give this a try because I wanted to know if it would be a dupe for, like I said, the Benefit Gimme Brow, which I actually love. I tried it a couple times and kind of the jury is still out. It has a really funny wand where it only has bristles on one side and the other side is flat. So number one, if you apply the flat side to your brows, you will be depositing quite a bit of product and it will be as if you are painting your brows, and that doesn't look good any day of the week. I got the shade Soft Brown. I always feel like the light brown shade is still just a little bit too dark, so I'm not really all that impressed with the color. I think the wand is kind of large. I feel like it makes my brows look a little bit messy because I can't be that precise. The Gimme Brow brush wand is very, very tiny. This happens to be very long. But if it winds up working out well and it's way less money than the one by Benefit, then I'm all for it. So I am gonna keep trying it, but just a heads up, it is out there and it might be something you wanna look at. I love Rimmel lipsticks. I kind of feel like they're pretty close to the MAC Cream Sheens, which I've said before are my favorite lipsticks ever, because they've got a little bit of like gloss and shine to them, but they've definitely got their cream factor. So Kate Moss came out with 2 different versions of a nude line. And when I mean line, I mean there's like 15 different nudes. I mean there's like a lot of nudes. You had no idea that there could be that many nudes. Actually, I take that back, because when you look at your own nude lipstick collection, you'll probably see like 75 different nudes from different brands and different styles, and we all know that there are a million different nudes. Anyway, Rimmel came out with kind of nude lines. One of them is in kind of a matte packaging and the other is in kind of like a metallic packaging. The metallic packaging is not a metallic lipstick. It is still a non-shimmery formula. So the one that's in the metallic-y package, I got 56, which is boho nude, and it's kind of a brownie nude. I mean, did you think I was gonna call it something else? Like I said, super comfortable to wear. Love the Rimmel lipsticks. The other one I got in kind of this like non-metallic packaging. I didn't even know there were 2 different lines. I thought I actually just picked up a second lipstick within the same line until I put them next to each other, and I'm like, ooh, one of you looks metallic and the other does not. This one is just the Lasting Finish lipstick by Kate. This is a number 46. There is no name for it. This is a little bit more of like a peachy orange brown. So just by comparison, they look oh so similar to each other, but I promise you they're different. So if you're into nudes, that sounded funny. If you're into nudes, then definitely check out Rimmel. Wet n Wild came out with another trio, which they are touting limited edition, and I told you I have a weak spot for anything that says limited edition. I love their Walking on Eggshells trio. Some of their other ones I think are a little bit hit and miss, but overall I think the trio line by Wet n Wild is actually really good. This one is called Velour Vixen, and it's the shade in the middle that totally caught my attention. It's a very deep cranberry. I have not tried it yet. The other darker shade is kind of like a black with some kind of maroon glitter to it, which looks very, very black. But I think the combination of the 2 will create a really nice smoky eye. Clearly, I can say, without having tried them yet, that they are very pigmented. A couple more things. Apparently, I am on a quest to find a long-wearing foundation because I was really affected when I had talked about the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation Concentrate, and you guys had given me feedback that the price really did throw you. That was a $55 foundation, but still, we are very conscious about price, and I thought, there has to be good stuff that give you pigment and coverage and long wear in the drugstore as well, besides the ones that have already been out. So a couple that I hadn't tried yet. This one's been out for like a lifetime and a half. It's by CoverGirl. It's the Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation and sunscreen combo. Now I like this one enough. I've been using it the last couple of weeks. I like this one enough that I did mention it in my favorites because I think it really does wear very long and very evenly. I don't look like a grease ball by the end of the day, which is entirely possible, and I feel like it gives me really decent coverage. Not over the top coverage, but coverage enough that I don't feel like I'm wearing just kind of like a BB cream or something. It gives me what I'm looking for as far as the coverage and the wear. The other one that I picked up that I haven't played with that much, which has been out for a while, when I was picking up the Kate Moss Rimmel lipsticks, I kind of glanced by their foundation. This is the Lasting Finish 25 hours. That is quite a bold claim right there. I have no idea if it's going to last me 25 hours. My first impression of it, because I did use it just a couple times, my first impression was a little bit meh. I wasn't kind of blown away by the coverage at least, but I'd like to get a better sense of how much and how well it wears during the day. Last thing that I picked up was actually from Ulta. It was on a huge display, which is what caught my attention about it. It was kind of right near the Rimmel nude lipstick display, quite frankly. And so this is by Essence, and it's the Pure Nude Highlighter. What caught my eye about it was that it looked very similar to the Tarte Exposed Highlighter that I actually just did a review on. I will link that video again somewhere around here. But it's that kind of sandy looking sort of highlighter. So maybe that's a thing now, I don't know. I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's a dupe. It reflects very, very nicely. It kind of reminds me of a warmer version of the Laura Mercier 01 Baked Matte Radiance highlighter. I think that's what you call it. You know what I'm talking about. It reminds me of a warmer version of that one. There's no speckles of glitter. It's pretty pigmented. I am wearing it today actually, and I think it's actually picking up pretty nicely on camera too. So not over the top, not blow you away form of a highlighter, but just a nice subtle way to give your skin and your face just a little bit of glow. And so again, looks kind of dead in the pan and winds up doing pretty magical things on your face. So those are some of the things I got with some of my reviews. Other products I'm definitely going to be interested in trying out, so maybe stay tuned and see if they make it into a favorites video or maybe a tutorial or get ready with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not one of my subscribers, I welcome you. I post every Friday, but I am definitely on the trend of posting random bonuses through the week, and so if you're a subscriber, you will be notified immediately if one of those videos goes up. Have you bought anything cool at the drugstore lately? Please leave me a comment down below, or if you've got any comments or anything about any of the products I mentioned here, I would love to hear that too. I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. If you have a minute, please join me over there. Thank you again so much for spending this time with me. Have a great rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks.
You want to know my thoughts with the fit? Couple more things. I've picked up a couple of foundations, and apparently I have a frog in my throat. I love their walking on eggshells. Because I feel like, I know for sure that L'Oreal has had primers on like a jumbo edge.